Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Hey, good afternoon to you, folks. I'm Casey Cance. Doreen is off today. Happening now at noon, a murder suspect with ties to Rhode Island getting ready to face a judge. Nathan Carman, arrested by federal agents on Tuesday. The Vermont man being charged with murder of his mother and grandfather. The arraignment happening in Rutland, Vermont at 1 o'clock today. ABC6 News reporter Dominique Turner digging deeper today into the case and has a timeline of the investigation. Take a look.
It all started on December 20th, 2013, when Nathan Carman's grandfather, John Chocolos, was found shot to death in his Windsor, Connecticut home. Police say Nathan was the last person to see his grandfather alive, but they couldn't get an arrest warrant charging him with the murder. Fast forward 3 years to September 2016. Nathan and his mother, Linda Carman, leave for a fishing trip to Block Island. 2 days later, the Carman's boat sinks and the Coast Guard launches a 6-day search. Eventually, Nathan was rescued from a life raft by a boater who spotted him 100 miles off of Martha's Vineyard. A month later, in October, $60,000 improvements to Carman's boat catches investigators' attention, probing their case. In July 2017, Nathan Carman's aunt asks a judge to declare him her father's murderer. The Slayer petition alleged that Carman committed the, quote, heinous act of shooting and killing Chocolos out of, quote, malice and greed. In December 2018, an insurance company claims Nathan Carman used his grandfather's rifle to shoot and kill him. In May 2019, a judge dismissed the Slayer petition, making him eligible for millions of dollars in inheritance. Later in 2019, a federal judge in Rhode Island deciding that Carman had something to do with the 2016 sinking of the boat where his mother was lost at sea. Now, in 2022, Carman faces charges of murder and fraud. If convicted of murder on the high seas, Carman would face a mandatory life sentence, with each additional fraud charge adding 30 years. Dominique Turner, ABC6 News.
All right, Dom, thank you. Make sure you stay with ABC6 on air and online for continuing coverage of the Nathan Carman case. ABC6 News crews will be live at the federal courthouse in Vermont later today. Again, that's at 1 o'clock for Carman's arraignment. The federal trial, meantime, of a Providence man who was indicted in the 2019 kidnapping death of a Massachusetts woman is underway in Boston. Louise Coleman faces one count of kidnapping, resulting in the death of 23-year-old J.C. Correa of Dorchester. Opening arguments for Coleman's trial began Tuesday. Correa's family was in the courthouse on Monday and intends to be in the courtroom for every day of the trial. In February of 2019, Correa was last seen leaving Venue nightclub where she was celebrating her birthday with friends. Coleman is accused of kidnapping Correa and killing her. Her body found in the trunk of a car in Delaware. We'll be following that trial closely as well for you. We'll bring you any updates. In the meantime, we switch gears and take a live look outside today on this lunch hour. Not too bad out there today. Those temps starting to creep up just a bit as we have meteorologist Tim Studebaker in for Chelsea today. And Tim, the rest of the week after today is going to be even better. Good afternoon.
Yeah, we have our first taste of summer-like weather on the way. Not for today, but in the next few days, we'll start to see some warmer temperatures, especially away from the coast, as well as the rise of that humidity. Yeah, we're talking humidity for the first time in a while here. For now, we're still stuck in this same pattern we've been in over the last several days. Temps have moderated a little bit, so it's slightly warmer than a few days ago, but we're still dealing with that cool northeast flow of air over southern New England, thanks to low pressure to our south that's been there for days, and high pressure to our north also that has been there for days. The pattern really hasn't changed the last several days. Temps right now, very wide range depending on where you are. 60s for most of us, but only the low 50s along the eastern Plymouth County coast, and that's because of northeast winds. 10 to 20 plus miles per hour. Those northeast winds off the colder Atlantic waters, they're gusting 20 to almost 30 miles per hour. And there's a little bit of patchy drizzle and fog, especially for the Cape and Islands right now, thanks to that northeast wind. Mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies for the rest of this afternoon, and temps in the 60s. The rest of your forecast straight ahead, Casey.
All right, Tim, we'll check back in. Thank you. Police are investigating after a multi-vehicle crash in Pawtucket this morning. This video here is shot around 4:30 this morning by a photographer on East and Middle Streets in the city. Our crew there saw one car up against a pole, and EMS officials telling us it appears that one of two cars fell off that tow truck after that tow truck crashed into a fence. The tow truck driver and a passenger were taken to the hospital to be checked out. That crash remains under investigation today. Plainville police investigating a one-car crash. This happened on East Bacon Street near Messenger and George Street around 8:30 this morning. a utility pole. Look at that. Hit so hard it snapped in half. According to police, the street was closed down so crews could clean up the road and replace that utility pole. No word at this time on injuries. ABC6 with a focus on our schools, and parents in North Kingstown irate at last night's school committee meeting after 3 more employees were placed on leave there. The teachers and staff now under investigation for alleged misconduct. The district's attorney, Matthew Oliveiro, is handling the Aaron Thomas investigation, but the meeting did provide a forum for parents to voice their displeasure about the additional allegations.
You have lost the confidence of many in the community, considering the results of your own investigations, the recent civil lawsuit filed against you stemming from the naked fat testing abuse, and because of your failure to protect the welfare and safety of students entrusted to your care.
You are what's wrong. And you resigning is the next step in making sure that this never happens again.
An NK's interim superintendent and the school AD said they are working on a reorganization of the athletic department. Massachusetts is investigating 2 cases of a mysterious hepatitis in children. The Boston Globe reports both children tested negative for adenovirus, but few other details were released in this case. Health officials are worried about more than 100 cases of severe and unexplained hepatitis in children across the U.S. So far, 5 kids have died and 14% needed liver transplants. Investigators say there may not be a single cause. That virus was detected in more than 50% of the cases. Well, the more than 600-pound great white named Andromaque has quickly migrated north to her summer home. According to OSearch, the 11-foot shark detected off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. Right now, the Shark Research Group says the great white is the only tagged shark along the Mass coast. Still to come on ABC6 News at noon, inflation now at a 40-year high. What's being done to bring down prices? We have more on President Biden's plan to help you save money. And a lot of industries have taken a hit because of the pandemic. Here's one that might surprise you, though. Chewing gum, where one snack food company is spitting out their gum business. Back with some consumer news today at noon. The latest government report shows inflation has cooled off slightly from a record 8.5% last month to 8.3% now, meaning consumer prices are rising less rapidly. But the news does not necessarily mean economic relief is coming soon for the average American. ABC's Faith Abube explains.
After months of a rapid increase in prices, fresh signs today in the government's latest inflation report that economic pressures on U.S. consumers may be weakening. The critical report shows while prices still jumped 8.3% in the last year, it was a lower increase compared to the 40-year record 8.5% inflation recorded in March. Despite the apparent inflation slowdown, analysts say the outlook for the U.S. economy remains uncertain, and Americans could still see their food and gas prices remain high for months. The average American is now paying a record $4.40 for a gallon of regular gas.
I'm spending something like $50 to $75 a week. It's a big jump.
Drivers in California paying more than the national average, $5.84, while those in Georgia are paying less, $3.93. Americans growing increasingly frustrated as the strain of inflation erases gains they've seen in their paychecks in the last year.
I want every American to know that I'm taking inflation very seriously.
President Biden deflecting blame, pointing the finger at supply chain disruptions caused by the global pandemic and Russia's war in Ukraine, but promising to take steps to ease the problem. The president is expected to announce today details of his plan to lower food prices by helping farmers cut costs and boost production.
Food costs are way up. Housing costs are way up once again. President Biden has presided over one of the most expensive years for working families in modern American history.
And economists say the Federal Reserve is now in a delicate position as it tries to cool off inflation by raising interest rates. Many fear the wrong move could send the U.S. into another recession. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
And snack food company Mondelez is spitting out its gum business, at least in some parts of the world. They're selling off Dentyne and Trident brands in North America and parts of Europe, and Hall's cough drops too. Well, they're planning to get rid of that business as well. Instead, the company plans to focus on chocolate and baked goods like Oreos, Chips Ahoy, Toblerone, and Cadbury. Just ahead today at noon, a baby formula shortage that is impacting families locally. What the FDA now says it's doing to try to solve the problem. Welcome back, ABC6 with a focus on your health. And the FDA says it is taking steps to address and improve the baby formula shortage. That includes, they say, meeting with manufacturers to understand their ability to increase production. The FDA is expediting certifications and allowing Abbott Nutrition to release products that were originally recalled. asking parents to check with their doctor, saying the benefit of having the product outweighs the potential risk of a bacterial infection.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Tim Studebaker.
You know, if it weren't for the blustery winds and the somewhat below average temperatures, the last several days would have been somewhat decent. We are looking at sun and clouds mixed right now, and it's relatively bright looking on Skycam, but it's still below average temperature-wise, and we're still on the gusty side right now. That pattern is finally going to come to an end after today. We just have to make it through the rest of the day today. We'll start to see a warm up in place tomorrow. Then it really warms up with a little taste of summer on the way as we got toward late week and into the weekend. It's turning a little bit warmer, a little bit muggy, and slightly unsettled as well. We'll pick up a few shower chances, hit or miss. Not really anything widespread, not a washout by any stretch of the imagination. Sea breezes will pick up at the coast. Anyone who has lived on the coast of southern New England knows that is fairly typical this time of year. Our first pretty warm, somewhat muggy days, you have about 10, 15 degree cooler temperatures at the coast because of that sea breeze. Right now, the sea breeze is mainly out toward Plymouth County in Massachusetts as well as the Cape and Islands. So much cooler temperatures, 40s and low 50s there, while the rest of us are seeing the 60s at 63 in Providence at this hour. Those winds are still going about 10 to 20 miles per hour out of the northeast, and they're gusting between 20 to almost 30 miles per hour. This wind has been relentless over the last several days. We should start to see relief from that as the pattern starts to change heading into tomorrow. Visibility, not a concern for most of our area, but I want to point out, thanks to that northeast wind, there's a little bit of patchy fog and drizzle for parts of Cape Cod right now. And I point that out because that's a possibility for the rest of us heading through the day today with those northeast winds. You may see a little bit of patchy fog, especially near the east-facing coastline of Massachusetts. And that chance for some patchy fog and drizzle goes up tonight, along with some increasing cloud cover too. We've been stuck in this pattern with low pressure south of us, high pressure north of us, and that flow of cool air over southern New England coming off of the Atlantic. In fact, we've been in this pattern for so long, I'll tell you a little secret. I made this map on Sunday. I didn't even have to change it today. That's how little the pattern has changed, but it's about to flip for us. We are looking at low humidity for now and cool temperatures. As it becomes warmer over the next few days, humidity will actually start to rise. It's been a little while since we've had to talk about that. Dew points get up toward about 60 or so by Friday and continuing into the weekend. So again, the return of summer-like weather finally into our area. Partly to mostly cloudy skies for now, not feeling summer-like, low 60s. Patchy fog and drizzle possibility, especially along the east-facing shoreline of Massachusetts, the Cape and Islands as well. Later tonight, mostly cloudy skies, again, patchy fog and drizzle, but I think that'll be a little bit more widespread into our viewing area. Temperatures dropping down to the upper 40s, still on the breezy side. As we head into the next several days on your Storm Tracker 7-day forecast, we're mainly dry with a mix of sun and clouds for Thursday into Friday. Much warmer temperatures and somewhat rising humidity, especially by Friday. I will caution coastal locations will see a sea breeze that will keep you cooler. And then the warmer, a little bit muggy and a little bit unsettled pattern continues into the weekend with a few stray showers on Saturday and Sunday. A better chance for more scattered, widespread shower activity on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we're back to that pattern of mix of sun and clouds, mild temperatures, and a sea breeze at the coast. Casey.
Boy, Tim, that is a nice stretch coming up. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let's check in on the Celtics and their playoff run. The C's are back home for a pivotal Game 5 matchup tonight against the Bucks. Their second-round playoff series is even at 2 games apiece. It's a big one tonight, no doubt. 35-year-old Al Horford, boy, is he back in a big way. Led the way with a huge Game 4 performance for Boston, a playoff career high, 30 points and 8 boards to help the C's take that one 116 to 108. Tonight's game tips off at 7 o'clock. Our live coverage begins on ABC6 News first at 4. Still to come today at noon, remembering those we've lost in the line of duty. We take you to a special ceremony earlier this morning in Providence. Welcome back. New today at noon. Providence Police holding their annual Police Officers Memorial Service and Wreath-laying ceremony this morning. The memorial dedicated to honoring the memory of the officers of the Providence Police Department who made the ultimate sacrifice. The department remembering the 10 officers who died in the line of duty, as well as those who've passed after retirement.
These past couple of years have been so difficult for all of us, but particularly for law enforcement. We have noticed throughout the country and here a disturbing upward trend in gun violence.
No other profession sacrifices so much for so many. Many of the officers who were victims of violence were killed in ambushes or while out on patrol. Wearing the badge shouldn't make you a target.
And just last year, over 70 police officers were killed in the line of duty nationwide. The memorial coming just days before National Police Week. That begins on Sunday. And now to an arrest. In an attempted kidnapping in Massachusetts, it was all caught on camera. A man trying to drag a woman away on a Massachusetts street, only to be scared off when the driver of a passing car stopped. And now today, we're hearing from that hero, Good Samaritan. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has the story.
A sigh of relief as two strangers from Massachusetts reunite.
They got him.
In this ABC News exclusive,
I love you.
Zaira Mendoza and Ariel Naylor embracing for the first time since Ariel saved Zaira from an attempted kidnapping.
Yo pensé, son mis últimos minutos de vida.
Zaira says she thought those were the last moments of her life.
I just saw some guy just trying to abduct a girl. I'm on the side of the road. She's got no shirt on.
Where are you?
In this surveillance video, you can see the moment Zaira realizes she's being followed. She tries to make a run for it, but her and the attacker end up in an intense pulling match. The beam from Ariel's headlights, a signal of hope.
Yo dije, Dios mío, me enviaste un ángel, y ella tuvo el valor de parar.
Zaira says God sent her an angel because only Ariel was brave enough to stop her car and help.
I don't know where he went. He took off when I slammed on my brakes.
The suspect taking off on foot. Ariel says she didn't think twice about stopping.
I did what any person should do when you see somebody in trouble.
Ariel refuses to call herself a hero, saying it was Zaira who fought to save herself.
She knew to get to the light and to get to the center of the road so somebody could help her. So she made it possible for me to help her.
This morning, the thwarted attacker, identified by police as 23-year-old Tyler Healy, facing multiple charges, including attempted kidnapping and assault. A shared trauma, now bonding these two women for life.
I don't know her, but I feel like I have that connection with her. That night I held her. I'd do it again, you know, I mean, I'm so happy she's okay, and I will forever cherish our friendship.
Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
relatively bright out there for your Wednesday afternoon. We'll call it a mix of sun and clouds. It is on the cool side with temps in the low 60s and that persistent northeast blustery wind continuing. We are about to flip the pattern, though, turning warmer over the next several days, except at the coast where sea breeze will keep you cooler. Humidity will be on the rise as well. By Friday, you'll really start to notice that, and then we'll pick up a few shower chances over the weekend and into early week.
I heard you say that H word a couple times.
Had to dust that one off.
I guess so. Tim, thank you. Thank you, folks, for watching as well. The news continues first at 4, and for news and weather anytime, check us out at abc6.com. Have a great rest of your afternoon.